Hey everybody, it's Wednesday and it is time to cook dinner, okay? And we're gonna have chicken and fried rice tonight. So it's not gonna be the fried rice that you will see where they add the rice and add the egg and whatever else that you wanna do. I'm not doing it like that. We are gonna do a box fried rice, and this is how I have always made this particular dish, and it is the Innovation vegetable fried rice. Make sure it's vegetable because it's higher points when it's chicken fried rice. So we will add our own chicken and we're using the vegetable fried rice. So I am gonna let people hop on. I was cutting up the chicken as we speak, and I will finish up cutting this here in just a minute. So I hope everybody can hop on today. Let me find my pans that I want to use. I want to use this one and this one. And this one. Okay, we're going to use these two. Thank you. I put my bathing suit on today and I sat outside for a little bit. Actually, I've done a lot of things today, so I'll just kind of go over that with you. But I had my hair up, so I think I just let it down just a little bit ago because I don't want to have to leave it up all day. And maybe that's why, I don't know. I haven't done anything to it at all. Nothing. It actually needs to have a wash day today. It's really what it needs. How was dinner finally last night? The beef tips. We had the beef tips on Monday. Last night we had enchiladas. Both nights they were so good. I know, I really like this rice too. Thanks, Teresa. Hey from Louisiana. Hey, Brenda. Had my first collagen today. Not bad. Yay! Awesome. Awesome. So today I took some clothes to the cleaners for JJ. Okay, he likes to starch up his stuff because he deals with welding stuff and everything, and so he likes his clothes to be starched. And so I have never been to this cleaners here, you know, so we looked it up. So I took my dogs with me into town today, and I get to this cleaners and I leave my car on, but I bring my key with me and I lock the doors. So they are in air conditioned. I can fully see my dogs, but I didn't want to leave the door unlocked or anything like that. So I walk in and there is nobody. There's no countertop. There is nothing, okay? And this place was something I've never seen before. Now, you may have it where you live, but I have never seen anything like this. I honestly think it's really cool, but I had never seen anything like this. So I walk in and it's a room, and there looks like there's locker doors, you know, like a locker room. Okay, so those were closed. Then it had two screens, and they were touch screens, okay? And oh, thank you, Judy. So they were touch screens, and then you would say if you brought your own bag or if you needed a bag to put your stuff in. So I said I needed a bag. Oh, first of all, I stood there for a minute. I was just like, surely somebody's going to come out and say, "Oh, you look new. Can I help you with this?" Nobody came out, okay? And so I was like, looking around, and I was like, are you serious right now? Nobody? Okay, all right, Holly, you can do this. So I have like a lot of clothes in my arm. So I set the clothes down, I push the little touch screen, and it says, did you bring a bag or you didn't bring a bag? So I said, I need a bag. So, and there's lots of bags, like you can see them all hanging up right here, okay? And so I pushed that I needed a bag. Then it said, what number is on the back. So it says there is a number on the back. So it says number 70. So I put number 70 in there. Then it says any special instructions. And I said, I didn't know when or at what point it was going to ask me if it's dry clean, if it's heavy starch, if it's just pressed. I didn't know when it was going to ask me that. So I put heavy starch, okay? It's because he likes it heavy starch. So I put heavy starch, and then I go to the next screen, and then it tells me, put a phone number in. I put my husband's phone number, and then that was it. Like, it did not ask any other questions. And I was like, well, thank goodness I put heavy starch, because it didn't even ask me anything else. So I shoved everything into the bag, and then it tells you to open the big lever. So there's a big lever, and you put the bag in there, and it drops down in there, and then it'll like tell you thank you, and we'll give you a call when finished or whatever. Because I stood there and I was like, well, when's my clothes gonna be ready? So I'm trying to read any signs that it takes 24 hours, that it takes 3 days. I don't know, you know? So I'm like, oh, well, I'm gonna let my husband deal with it. So I get in my car, and my husband calls me, and he says, hey, I can tell you dropped off my clothes at the cleaners. I said, yes, you're not gonna believe this. So I go through the whole scenario with him, and he said, I've been to one of those up in Nebraska or something. I'm not sure where he was. And I said, well, how do you know? I mean, how long is it going to take? And he's like, usually it takes a day or whatever, but they'll text me and I'll go by and pick it up. I'm like, okay, fine, no problem. I said it was kind of cool, but it takes away from somebody else having a job that's behind the counter. There you go again. It's like computer, just like going to Walmart, and you have to check your own food and your own product, whatever you're buying, you have to check out. It's like taking away somebody else's job that could provide for their family. Anyways, please don't get me started on that, because it drives me crazy when I have to do that. And so if you are one of them that just likes to check out your own self, good job, but irritates me. And then they want to check your bag before you leave the building. No, doesn't set right with me. So anyways, but beyond that, it was pretty cool on the whole cleaners thing. I mean, I kind of get the whole concept, but I like talking to someone and saying, hi, my name is Holly. I need these clothes, heavy starched. And then I like somebody say, no problem. We'll have it to you by tomorrow at 5 o'clock. All right. Thank you so much. That's what I like. So, let's see here. Miss Karen. We just had to evacuate our camper because of a bad storm on vacation. We just made it back to the camper. Our canopy awning, not the one attached to the camper, is completely destroyed, but that is able to be replaced. Karen, I did not tell y'all this story that happened on Sunday, and I am not trying to go over your story at all. I'm so sorry that like totally happened to y'all, and I'm so thankful that y'all are safe and that y'all heeded the warning and got out of there. On Sunday, that evening, we had made pork chops and like I told y'all, wings. Well, we went to the guy that JJ works with. Their camper is about 7 campers down from us. Well, we went to their place because they have one of the campers that has a porch off of it, and they had their awnings out. Well, a storm came here, and yes, they probably should have put their awnings back, but we were sitting under there. It really wasn't real windy. It was just kind of storming around us and raining. And all of a sudden, I went to go go check on the dogs. And when I came back, there was 4 men holding down the awning that was out because a gust of wind came up. Because it already stopped raining. It had already bypassed us, but then the wind started. They had to, it would not come up. The retracting of the awning would not come up. And their son, their oldest son, had to completely cut off a 20 foot, am I right about that? 20 feet awning. He had to cut it like with a knife. So they no longer were, so they could stop holding it. These 4 men were holding down this awning. You have to talk to human. Oh, thank you, Lauren. Yeah, so I forgot to tell y'all that on Sunday. I could not imagine having to cut our awning, even though it's replaceable. But literally, JJ, the guy, and 2 other guys were like holding it down, and it still broke. It still broke. The arms broke. You could not retract it. Well, they had to tie wrap it back up against the thing. Okay, they had to tie wrap it. I don't know. So I am very glad that you're okay, Karen, and I'm glad that it wasn't your actual awning. It was just like an awning that y'all had purchased maybe just to put up. Yeah, okay, I'm glad. That's so scary. So scary. What else was I gonna do? Oh, y'all know what? I had something else to tell y'all. I would too, Karen. I was crapping my pants just because that was theirs, and I was like, I can't believe they're cutting. Oh my gosh. Oh, please let it go back. No, they, with a knife down the thing, had to cut it completely off. Yes. I couldn't even imagine. No. Holly, when you share about the storm that came through and y'all are in your camper, I know that has been scary. Actually, I kind of like storms. But when the camper starts rocking and it sounds like it's swirling outside, like the wind is really howling, I get nervous. But I like it storming and raining. It's kind of nice. And as long as I can see the radar that it doesn't look real bad, I don't get too nervous. But when you see a lot of reds coming your way, I will not lie, I do get a little nervous. The weather has been crazy. Erin, I'm so sorry you've been in the hospital, sweetheart. Well, I'm glad that you're here, and I hope that you're home resting. Thank you, Michelle. Lincoln is laying on the broken phone holder that I have, and his head keeps knocking it like it's, and that's why I keep trying to adjust it. And see, the thing with Aussies, once they lay down and are comfortable, they're not gonna move. So if I need to wash, which he's right here below me, he's not gonna move unless I'm like, get up, move, you know. They're so sweet, but that's why I've stepped on him a couple of times, because he's right here and his little face is right on one of the legs that hold this thing up. But there's already one leg that's broken. So, okay, another thing that I was going to tell y'all. Before I got on here, I was watching Facebook. I was looking at it. Y'all, this dessert came up, and I was like, why did this even come up? Okay? She took a tortilla, and it was not, it was just a tortilla, okay? She'd not a low carb tortilla or nothing like that, okay? She just took a tortilla. She had a log of chocolate chip cookie dough, a log of chocolate chip. So she cut off, like, I don't know, the end of it. She smashed the cookie dough on one side of the tortilla, okay? Smashed it on the one side. Took some marshmallows, set the marshmallows on there, folded it, put some butter in the little pan, and fried it, like, you know, fried it up on each side. And then she drizzled cinnamon and sugar on top of it, and she cut it like a pizza, and she ate it, and it was gooey. And so it's called a chocolate chip cookie tortilla, I think it's called, or tortilla chocolate chip. I think it's called a chocolate chip. I don't know. She said, let's try this. This is all over TikTok, and let's try it. And I'm like, oh gosh, I want one of those so bad right now. Oh, it looked so good. Oh my goodness. Anyway, okay. Let me finish cutting up these last 4 chicken tenders, okay? So I'm using chicken tenders, and on the app, I just use like whatever, I put on their boneless, skinless chicken tenders, and they're still 0 points, okay? So the chicken is going to be 0 points. And then the Innovation rice, we do have to count for. I do have my G. Hughes teriyaki sauce, and that's what we're going to use on here. Okay, let me finish cutting this up. One more, and then I can wash my hands. I washed my hands earlier when I cut up the other ones, but I wanted to finish cutting these up with y'all on here. Okay. Let me finish up. See, I told you I'm gonna step on you. I'm sorry for your Karen. Sorry for Karen's loss and JJ's co-worker's awning. I don't think we have a cleaners that automatically. Yeah, we don't have an automatic cleaners either. My cleaners know us very well, so as soon as I drove up, they're like, "Hey, Holly, all right, heavy starch. We'll have it for you by tomorrow at 5." That's my cleaners, okay? And I like that they are personable. They know us there. You know, they'll ask, you know, how I'm doing. How's JJ? They'll even ask. So my cleaners are very personable, and so yeah. So I'm not used to that either. I love that rice. We had that tonight with teriyaki salmon. Ooh, that sounds good, Lauren. Is that a chalkboard on the cabinet door? Oh, right here? No, it's just like a, no, it's like a glass. No, it's glass. So no chalkboard. That's pretty cool though. That would be really neat. That's a good idea. Yeah, and you can write little, "This is what we're having today. I love you." Right? That would be so cute. Okay. I'm so corny. Okay. Oh, another thing today, okay? So here I wanted to, I don't know why it came into my head. I think I know why. Because I've had a lot of people messaging me saying, "You should be just fine where your weight is. You should be maintaining right where you're at right now." Well, thank you very much. Anyways, my goal was 150. I was 153 Monday morning. And I'll be honest with you, I'm totally satisfied where I'm at. I just want to stay in the 150s. That is my goal, is to stay in the 150s. Lower part of 150s would be better. But anyways, so I looked on my app to see what it would be if I changed to maintenance as to how many points it would give me. Hold on one second. Let me catch up on this. I think you should make the dessert live. I really think so too. But then y'all are going to be like, "Holly, you're eating really bad." And then I'm giving you ideas, and I'm supposed to give you positive ideas, not bad ideas. I can give you bad ideas when it's holidays, because it's holidays, but yay, I'm glad this is one of your favorites. This is one of my favorites too. I agree with that. Even though the enchiladas last night were so good, okay? So good. Anyways, back to Weight Watchers. So I changed it to maintenance, and it says that for me, I should do 29 points per day. And I was like, heck yeah, I could do 29 points. And then it still gave me my 28 weeklies. Like, you still have your 28 weeklies, and your dailies would be 29. So this is what I did. I might gain this week for doing this, but I'm going to give it a shot. So today, let me tell you what I did, okay? So this morning I had my taco that I've showed y'all with the egg, the cheese, 1 bacon, and the tortilla. My drink, normal, 6 points and everything. Once a week shouldn't hurt us. I know, right? I know, but it will. I promise it would. Anyway, especially if you did it once a week. But anyways, because I know that dessert is probably 40 points. Like seriously, it's probably so high. It's so high. Anyways, but you're probably really, as gooey as it was, you probably could only eat one triangle. I am so all over the place right now. I'm sure y'all are like, what are we talking about? Like, are we talking about dessert? Are we talking about Weight Watchers? Okay. Okay. Back to the story. So I had that for morning. Okay. Then I went to the cleaners and I was like, you know what? I'm going to get Subway today. Healthy, right? So I did. I went and got Subway. I got ham, Black Forest ham and turkey with lettuce and pickles and purple onions. I did not get any mayo on it because I added my own mayo because it was not lunchtime yet, okay? I was about 11:15 when I was in town, so I was like, I'm not going to eat yet. It's not lunchtime. Go home and lay out like you were going to in your swimsuit. So I got baked Lay's. Okay, so the baked Lay's is 4 points and the sandwich is 6 points. Okay, I already put that all in my stuff. Okay, so I had that for lunch. Oh yeah, and 1 point. I'm sorry, 6 points for the sandwich, but 1 point for the light mayo because I love mayo. Okay, sorry, but I gotta have mayo. I don't have to, but I want to. So I had mayo. Okay, so I squeezed 1 tablespoon of mayo. So that's what I had for lunch. And then I haven't had anything else, but we're gonna have this. So what I'm counting this as, when you scan this box, it's a liar, okay? It's a liar. So let me just tell you why it's a liar, okay? Okay, let me tell you why. Because right here it says for 1 cup, it is 230 calories. When you scan this, it says 1 cup is 5 points. Wrong, okay? And the reason why is because if you scroll down a little bit on the calories, it gives you 130 or 160. I'm not sure. I'll get my iPad. It's charging up here in just a minute. But that is where it gets you. So when you move it to 1 cup and a half, it gets you closer to the 230. That's where you need to be. So it's 7 points per cup, actually, okay? So since the chicken's 0, I can have 2 cups of this, and it comes out as 11 points. No, it came out, let me look, because mine says 11, but I don't believe that. I don't know why it would go down that far, because it should be around 14. So let me scan this again. Let me play with it for a minute, because I know what I did. I did 2 cups and a half. So I think just 2 cups would be my 11 points. That's what I did. Because I moved the dial to 2 cups and a half. I know it's very confusing, but literally rice is not 5 points. Now, if you had the white rice or the jasmine rice with a half a cup, because a half a cup is already 4 points, and that's with nothing in it, okay? So I'm telling you right now, if you're gonna have a full cup of rice, it ain't gonna be 5 points. It's gonna be around 7 or 8, okay? So just always look at the calories when you scan it, to make sure that that matches up with their serving size that they're giving you, okay? Oh crap, then I blew, yeah. I know, I've done it before too, but if you had it with chicken, that's 0. You only are counting the rice that you used, depending on what you had for your side. So I don't know. You're gonna be okay, but just know that from that, like when I first started making this dish, I know I told y'all 5 points. I know I did, because I did not look at what the calories were telling me, okay? If you mix everything together, how do you figure out? I'm not gonna mix it together. So I make mine separate. So I make my chicken in one and I pour the teriyaki on there, and then in another pan I make the rice. So I do not mix them together. Yeah. Mayo, yeah. Okay, salmon is 0 points. So you didn't have to count for the salmon. So now you just had to pay, you know, the rice. So if you had 2 helpings, I mean, you are looking at around probably 11 points, 12 points, something like that, you know, something like that. Hello, Miss Kelly. Okay. I think I went over everything that I needed to go over with y'all. Ask me any questions that you have. Okay, so we're going to get this party started. Okay. Again, I have my chicken cut up. And we have our fried rice right here. And I have my G. Hughes sugar-free teriyaki sauce to use as well. Now, somebody's going to say, how many points is this? For like 1 cup, I think it's, I don't even know. I'm gonna scan it here in just a minute. I really think it's barely anything. You're not eating the whole cup, you're eating a portion. And so for like 4 tablespoons, it's 0 points. I think even more than that, it's still 0 points. But let me scan it and let me make sure. Let me see how much my iPad is up. Okay, good. It charged good enough. So let's get on the Weight Watchers app. See, I've done this for 6 years and I still just don't know everything. I don't. You never know everything. You learn something new every day. Every day. Okay. All right. We're going to say 1 cup is 2 points. So here's what I'm going to do. When I do the 1 cup, I'm going to do a little bit in the chicken and a little bit in the rice. If I feel like I need more, then we'll go from there. But see, I'm halfening it between the chicken and the rice. So I am good to count this as 1 point for the sauce. But other than that, not really. Because you're only eating a portion. You're not eating every single thing. Okay? Got it? All right. So let's get that cup out. All right. I am going to cook the chicken in this over here. And I'm going to cook my rice in this one. How much chicken are you using for this recipe? I know it's 0 points. How many servings? I honestly, I never even looked at that. Let me see if I can pull it off of this little tag. This says 2.17 ounces, so about 2 pounds. Sorry. Yeah, 2 pounds. Yeah, it does say that. 2 pounds. So on the chicken tenders, which a lot of it's right here because I don't like the tendon, and I know there's another way. Please do not come at me with your whole put the fork in there, slide it out. I don't want to do that. What I did went just as fast, and I'm okay with this. You know, some of this is probably chicken that we could have used. Everything's fine. So probably a little less than 2 pounds that I have inside there, but I cut out the tendon. So you could have used chicken breast too and cut them into cubes. I'm watching you as you fold laundry. Perfect. Holly, what kind of camper do you and JJ have? Is it okay? So it is 39 feet long, and it is a sandpiper. Our old camper was a sandpiper, and this is just an upgraded sandpiper that we got. So we like sandpipers, I guess you could say. So yeah, it's a sandpiper. JJ has like the model and everything, but like the model number. But yeah, it's a sandpiper. Yeah. Yeah, and I know that you can cut the tendon out a certain way, but I'm good just the way I did it. So yeah. Okay, that's 1 cup of the sauce. So I count things that are 0 points. Am I wrong to do that? for instance, if I'm having chicken, I know it's 0, but I still count it for my accountability. Yes, you should do that, because I'm going to give you a prime example, because Kelly, I know you weren't on here probably a minute ago when I was talking. I changed my Weight Watchers to maintenance, and I have 29 points now. I'm going to bring y'all over here. 29 points per day, and I'm going to see how this works out for me. So anyways, doing that, doing that, what was I trying to tell you? You just said something that jogged my memory for something like that. Oh, counting the points. So I put everything in today, what I was going to eat, and I didn't add the chicken because it's 0. I was going to go ahead and leave that out. Well, when I did that, it said that I only was at 1,000 calories for the day. I was like, that is not good, and I need to really pay attention to that. But then I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and count the chicken, because chicken is calories. And I put that I was going to have 4 ounces of boneless chicken breast or tenders. I did put tenders. So for tenders, for 4 ounces, bumped it up to almost 13. It was like 12.89 or something like that. So now I'm okay with my day because I had almost 1,300 calories. You see where I'm going with that? Okay, so yes, it is kind of important for you to go ahead and put these 0-point foods in there, just because they do have calories, and so you would know how much are you eating in one day. You understand what I'm saying? That's okay. I'm just letting you know. I think that you probably missed that part, and I did. I moved it to maintenance, and it's saying that I should have 29 points per day to be on maintenance, and I still have 28 weeklies. So I still have that. So we'll see how this works out. I think, like, usually what I've heard, like, when you start to do maintenance, you kind of gain right at the very beginning, because your body's kind of like, oh, you kind of ate more this week than you normally do. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, maybe I won't, but. So today I've had 28 points. 28. I have 1 point left over, and I don't know what I'm going to do with that. So yeah. Okay. So I let this get cooked down just enough where I can definitely tell this is nice and coated, and there's like some little ice chips in here that it's already in this. I don't know why it comes like that, but it just does. So you kind of want all that to kind of melt. So before I add my sauce. And this is really it, guys. I mean, this is all you do with besides pouring in the teriyaki sauce. That's why I love this dish so much, because it's so simple. So simple. Holly, what is a good high protein breakfast besides eggs? You know what, Jean? I wish I was at home. We do have the chocolate, and I am okay with that, but I really wish I would have had my strawberry protein shake. Have a protein shake that has 25 grams of protein. And if you can't just have a protein shake, have that and a banana. You're going to be good to go. I mean, that is really good. It's going to keep you from being hungry. And that is something that I'm thinking about, like, trying to incorporate. You know, maybe instead of always my eggs, like going towards doing my a shake. I don't really like drinking my my meals, but protein's very important. It really, really is. And if you can get 25 grams right at the beginning, that's pretty good. It's pretty good. But again, you don't even have to have it at that time. You can always just have it like at your mid-afternoon if you want to do the shake then. that can be, because there's only 3 points. So that's an option. What will you have for dessert? I don't even know if I am here lately. It's by the time JJ gets home and we eat, it gets to be so late and we go sit outside for a little bit and then we come in, I take a shower and we pretty much go to bed. He's tired. He gets up at 5 something in the morning. He has to drive an hour. I'm not seasoning the chicken with anything because the season is going to come from the teriyaki. So I'm fixing to add the teriyaki here in just a minute, and that's all. I'm not seasoning my chicken. You can definitely season your chicken, but I did not. I am not a root beer person. I can't even stand the smell of root beer. But if anybody's on here, there you go. Thanks for sharing that. I am just not a root beer person. I'm going to go home next week. You know what? I would rather do it with like skim milk or, like I said, unsweetened almond milk. It just tastes better like that. You can do it with water. Give it a try. You might like it with just water. But I just, when I do my shakes, I like making them a little more creamier. And I feel like doing it with a milk substance, it makes it a little more creamier. So you do have to count for 1 point for the unsweetened almond milk, but that's worth it for me, I would think. Okay. I am going to go ahead and add some of the teriyaki into the rice. Get that nice and incorporated. Perfect. Now we're going to spread that out like this and let that kind of fry on one side. Okay, I'm going to kind of spread it out like that and let that fry up on one side. The rice looks good. I do not like root beer either. I keep my breakfast and lunch mostly 0. So tonight I have 7 points. Used mashed potatoes and fat-free cheese and taco meat. So if your breakfast is mostly 0 and you're only using 7 points, what did you do with your other points? Like, what have you done with your other points? I next my protein shake with Fairlife milk and even more. Yes, that's a great idea. I didn't even think about that. I'm so sorry. Fairlife is, and it's only 1 point also. So yes, that's even more protein. Yes, Linda, thank you for adding that in there. Yes, the rice is in the freezer section. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Freezer section. All right, we're gonna have to get that chicken cooking. These pans are pretty big. Yes, the rice is so good. It is so good. My morning coffee and blueberry muffin I made. Okay, so you do have points that you eat. Okay, I'm just making sure, because I'm just making sure that you are getting your 23 points in for the day if you're only going to eat 7 points for tonight. Perfect, you did good. Good, yeah, use the Fairlife milk. Yeah, that's a great idea. And I would only use 1 cup of it. I wouldn't use because I think for 1 cup it's only 1 point. So just be cautious of that, because if you use a Fairlife in one of those small things, I think they're 2 or 3 points. So just be a little careful with that. So if you have like a carton of Fairlife, then just use a cup of it. Okay, I did that around. Now I'm going to spread it back out to kind of fry up again. I got the new strawberry shake from Advocare and I scanned the bag and it says 3 points. Do I need to add the points for the milk? Yes, ma'am. If you're gonna use milk, you have to add points. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, the bag for 1 scoop is 3 points, and the milk you have to add for if you're gonna use milk. If you're gonna use water, then you don't have to. Is G. Hughes teriyaki sauce you're using? Yes, that is what I'm using. That is what I'm using. Hey, Lawanda. I know, I've been seeing that you've been watching the shows. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. Hope everything is going okay. What kind of rice? Innovation rice. It comes in the freezer section of your grocery store. And we even got one of these at Albertsons. So I know that Albertsons carries it because I got one. I saw one. So, and I got this at Albertsons too. I was very glad that they had that. Okay, let's see how my chicken's doing over here. Okay, ladies, your main girl needs advice. I bought some watermelon and scanned it. Came up as 2 points. Oh no, I forgot where I was. 2 points and thought it was 0. So what you're gonna do on that, Kelly, Facebook gave it back to you flipping. No, I don't have. No, I moved the camera to the other side. No, I'm not. I'm still not the right way. I followed you for years. You've done amazing, and I've been so helpful. But do you ever think you'll get to a place where you don't have to count? I don't count every single day, honestly. Every single day. Like when it comes the weekend, I'll be honest with you, I don't always put my stuff in the app on the weekend because I just kind of know what points are. Not all the time. I use the app a lot, okay? I'll even, on the weekend, I'll even like be somewhere and I like look something up to find out how many points it is, but I still don't go back and log it in because I looked it up, I know how many it was and whatever I did that day. Sometimes, I think I'm just so trained in really using it. I'll be honest with you. Don't scan anything. Yeah. What I do, Kelly, for that answer for the watermelon, you're gonna type in watermelon and you're gonna use whatever is 0 points that it gives you. So just like when you are at a restaurant and you have to estimate what you're eating and how many points that will be, I do a guesstimation. So like when it comes to 0 points and you scan that item and you're like, there's no way because it's supposed to be 0 points. I just look for the next best thing. So you will type in watermelon and you will scan or check off whatever watermelon is 0 points. Okay, I can turn that down. Okay, I'm gonna pour out some of this juice so it'll start kind of frying up some of that chicken. Okay. All right. I don't think I need this anymore. All right, let's let that start cooking up a little bit more. Okay, I just thought it was a fruit. Don't scan anything that we say is 0 unless you are a diabetic. So I'm confused with the comment, Kelly, that you said, okay, I just thought it was a fruit. Watermelon is a fruit, so I'm really confused on that. Thank you, Kathy. Laura. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pour some of this teriyaki on here. No, it's not for you. It's just the neighbors. Oakley. Oakley. Just the neighbors. Oakley. Oakley. Says Weight Watchers says do not scan what they say is zero like watermelon. And it's not that you don't want to scan it, because you definitely want to add it in if it's because watermelon's going to have calories also, and that's kind of what I was saying earlier. You just want to pick whatever is zero. So like my banana, I always put that in the app in the morning. A banana has 120 calories. If I did not count that, then my day would not reflect that. So that's why I put in the banana, even though it's going to be 0 points, but there's 120 calories. So if I didn't, and I was at, let's say, 900 calories in the day, and I didn't add that banana, well, now if I would add the banana, that would bump me up past the, about 1100, something. So it is kind of important to still go in there, find whatever is going to be 0 points in that particular category, and then go ahead and use that. She doesn't listen great. Oakley needs a bark collar, honestly. Even when we're outside, Lincoln does not bark at all. Oakley will not be quiet. And it's like she is mouthing back to me like, Mom, I do not like those people over there. I see them. They have a dog. She keeps talking back to me, and it's still a boof, 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 boof. And I'm like, stop it. And she doesn't stop. Yes, exactly. I'm so glad I can travel with my husband. Yes. And he does like me being here. Okay, good, Kelly, good. I never thought about that. Haven't been adding my 0 points. Just for now that the reason I'm saying that, especially now that they allow us to see what we have, our calories per day, is it's pretty interesting when you don't add that in there. You're seeing a low number when in essence, if you would add in those 0 points, just because you want to see what your total calories were for the day. My dogs bark at the blade of grass. I feel the same way. I totally get that. Yes, your points will always be in your brain. That's right, Colleen. Yes, it will always be in your brain. Yes, I feel that. I feel that big time. Unless I'm on a tropical vacation, then no calories are in my brain at that time. That is for sure. Thank you, Diane. Yeah, so definitely, you really should not be eating under 1,200 calories, is honestly, especially since you work out so much, Kelly. So take a look at that and make sure that you are adding in all of your 0 point foods and things like that, and see if that number goes up, because 900 calories, your body's in starvation mode, and it's not going to let you lose any weight, and it's going to hold on to the fat that you already have on your body, and it's going to just cling to that because it doesn't know when it's going to get its next nutrition that it needs. So it's going to cling on to that. So, but yeah, so I'm going to tell you right now, whenever I was doing macros, I honestly, with my exercising and everything, I should be eating anywhere from 12 to 1,600. Actually, it didn't even tell me 12. It literally told me 1,600 calories per day. I do not eat 1,600. I am always in about the 12 to 1,400 range, which is totally fine. I'm still losing weight that way. But for me to fuel my body, which I probably average, if you took what I ate on the weekend, because I eat my weeklies. Do you understand that? I eat my weeklies on the weekend. So if you took what I ate off of my weeklies and you averaged it throughout the week, and as long as I'm already at about 1,200 calories each day, then it probably would bump that up each day to probably 1,400 or so. So that's why it's important for me to eat my weeklies, because my body is needing that fuel. And Kim, everybody, like for me, low carb is hard, okay? So like everybody's gonna have their, what is gonna work for them, and you should definitely do a diet or a way of eating, what people wanna say, whatever is gonna be comfortable for you to be able to sustain what you're doing. So Weight Watchers, I can eat whatever I want. If I wanted macaroni and cheese tonight and I wanted a bowl, you know, like the microwavable, those are like 8 or 9 points. And if that's what my meal was going to be tonight, I can have macaroni and cheese and I would still lose because I've had it. I've had macaroni and cheese before. But I cannot do low carb because, first of all, my gallbladder blows up because it's too much fat. Second of all, I have to have bread. If I go 1 month, and I can do it, 1 month without bread, pasta, French fries, potato chips, if I go 1 month without that, I'm already craving it and I'm going to mess up. So let's say I've gone a whole month and done a low carb, and I go to a cookout and they're having a hamburger. I'm going to be like, you know what? I want a whole hamburger. I don't want just the patty. I want the whole, because I'm craving that. Like, I miss that. And so low carb just doesn't work for me. So, but you have to do whatever works best for you. So if it's low carb and you're used to that, then that means it's going to be more sustainable for you. But Weight Watchers to me is easy when somebody else they just don't get it, or they're not getting it and it doesn't work for them. And that's okay. That's totally okay. Yes, 91, I just saw Barbara says, Kelly, 91 grams of protein is great. Yeah, it's great. I mean, of course, we all want to be around 130 in our protein. It's so hard to do. I will be honest with you. It's so hard, especially if you're not having a protein shake that's going to bump you up there or whatever. I'm at 23 points, but I can eat a banana for 0, but up the calories. Mine too, Holly. Low carb inflames my gallbladder. Yes, it inflames my gallbladder. Yeah. Yeah. Crave too. You crave too. Yeah. Low carb stopped working because I wanted those 0 point foods that aren't low carb. Yeah, I totally get that. Like bananas, I think bananas has 29 grams of carbs in it. And I have one every morning. Every morning I have a banana and I still lose weight. So it's just depending on, like, I don't even completely understand the science. I only understand it just a little bit. So anyways, I know it can get very confusing. I'm going to use the rest that was in here, and I'm just going to pour it over this. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I am going to start out, here I'm just going to use this. I'm going to start out with a cup, and then if I want more rice, because after all there's not like a whole lot in here. Okay, so my cup. Okay, and here's the thing. My husband likes his protein and his vegetables. He's going to eat some of this rice, but I'm going to tell you right now, this is probably how much he's going to end up doing on his plate. Because my husband had the gastric sleeve in 2020, and he will literally probably have this much of the rice. He does not eat a lot of pastas and things like that. He will enjoy, like he loved the enchiladas yesterday, but he only ate one enchilada, okay? He took one for work today for lunch. But he'll have more chicken than he will the rice. So there's plenty left for me to come back if I want to have my second cup that I already accounted for, okay? So, but 1 cup is right here. Now I'm going to grab my chicken because chicken is 0. And I put there I was going to have about 4 ounces. And to me, that's plenty of chicken, okay? I'm okay with that. That's plenty for me. This is what I'm going to have. So, you know what I told myself? I was going to take a picture because I took a picture of my Subway today. I took a picture of my breakfast today. And I was going to do like what I ate in a day. So let me take a picture because I always forget. I always make my plate and then I end up forgetting to do something like that. So let me take my picture. Let's see. Okay. All right, so now I can eat. Oh, it's hot. My husband loves pasta. He's Italian. I love pasta. Give me pasta. Exactly. So if I'm satisfied after I eat this, then I won't have my other one. And then I do need to figure out something for snack. I don't know what that's going to be yet. I might have some chips if I have, you know, like more points than I think I have. Because if I don't eat no more. But for the 1 cup, it's 7 points. So right here, it's 7 points what I have right here, okay? Because I put 1.5 cups, but you're not having a real cup. 1 cup is 7 points. So good. What sandwich did you have? I had a black forest ham and a turkey. Then I had lettuce, purple onions, and pickles. Then I came home with it. I did not put cheese on it. And then I did my light mayo, 1 tablespoon of my light mayo down the drizzle. And then I had a bag of baked Lay's chips. Perfect, Kelly. You did great. Then you're good. Awesome. Love it. Then you did good, girl. So good. Okay, guys. I'm done. Oh, yes, I just got done taking my nails off, and I did a video on that. I did that, and then I'm going to... I might not do these today, but I have my pink right here. And I may put these on like tomorrow or Friday. I'm not sure. I like to let these air out just like 1 day or so or 2 days. So I took my nails off. Everything is great. I got them all, you know, filed up and done like that. But these are my other ones. Hey, is your daddy here or something? I don't know what you're... Come here. Yeah, so I just did it, actually. Yeah, while I was watching that cookie video. I had my phone propped up and I was like, oh my gosh, that looks so good. So anyways, all right, guys, I'm going to let you go. I hope y'all have a great evening. And I will talk to you soon. I see Kelly's real quick. Yeah, Subway no longer has light mayo. But they just do the high fat. Yeah, so I just get no mayo on there. Yeah, I did not know that, Kelly, so I'm glad that you told me that, and I'm glad I did not do that. So I did not know that. I had the same nails, haven't put on yet. You know what? And the nails that I had on was from the wedding. They had been on for 2 weeks and they really weren't even wanting to come off. I just was ready to change my color. They were on my nails. 2 weeks I had those on from the wedding. So yeah. Anyways, all right, guys, thanks so much for joining me tonight. I hope you enjoyed this fried rice and all of our talking. I love you all. Y'all have a good evening. Bye-bye.